Here we have for sale our 2018 on an 18 plate Citroen Berlingo Enterprise. This is the 625, that relates to the payload, so a 625 kilogram payload. It's got the 1.6 blue HDI engine with 75 brake horsepower. The blue HDI relates to it being Euro 6, so that means you can take this into the ultra low emission zone areas without having to pay the congestion charge relating to those areas. What we're going to do in this video is have a little walk around, have a look at the spec that you get on a Citroen Berlingo Enterprise of this age for anyone looking for information. But also this vehicle is currently available for sale, so I'll talk you through the ownership, service history and condition of this particular example that is available. So starting at the rear of the vehicle on these Berlingos, the rear barn doors, the two opening doors which are known as barn doors, they are laid out in a 60-40 configuration. On an Enterprise you also get integrated parking sensors in the rear bumper. If we open up the rear barn doors, if you look down to the side you can see these little yellow handles just there. If you pull on those yellow handles you can then open up the rear barn doors to their full 180 degree position for maximum accessibility. Of course when you open them you can just lock them in there at 90 degrees, but as I say, it gives you the option. You can open both of those out right to their 180 degree position. As you can see, this vehicle is ply lined, so ply lining protecting the inside of the rear doors, also the full inside of the vehicle there, including the wheel arches. That stops any outward dents, which you certainly don't want, and of course it protects the floor as well. Plenty of tie down points in the back of a Berlingo. As you can see, this one has got the ladder bulkhead, which protects the driver from any cargo which is, going to be sort of flying forward under heavy braking or anything like that. But what that allows you to do is to fully utilize these folding passenger seats. So you can see there on this seat here, it's got a metal back on it, and we'll show you why that is relevant in just a second. In the back here, you've also got a 12-volt socket, and there is load light up there as well for loading in the dark. As we go around to the passenger side, fuel filler cap is on the passenger side. If we open that up, you can see that this is where the AdBlue tank is located. This is a AdBlue you'll find on all Euro 6 vans. If we open up the side loading door, on an Enterprise they come as standard with a passenger side loading door. And then you see this blue tab. And why that is important is because when you pull on that tab, that means then you can fold that seat flat like so, and say that metal back then protects the seat from any wear from the cargo which you can load in there. So for a relatively small van you've got a really good load length there to load cargo all the way into the passenger footwell. If you look inside here, there's another blue tab just there. If you pull on that like so, you can then fold down the back of the middle seat. That will go all the way down there, and you've also got capability then to lift up the base of that seat. That clicks into place just there for some hidden storage just there. If we pull on this blue tab for the far seat, we can lift that up. And then if we look down at the bottom, we've got this little yellow handle just there. And if you pull on that yellow handle, that means then you can lift up that passenger seat, and that exposes the toolkit and some extra hidden storage again. So, let's say, lots of versatility with those passenger seats in the Berlingo. One of the factors which really makes them unique in this category of van. We'll talk you through some of the spec on the cab when we get around to the driver's side. Condition wise, this vehicle is pretty difficult to fault really in terms of its bodywork. Hopefully the video here is giving you a nice accurate representation of what I'm seeing, but it is in very, very good order, nice and straight down both sides. There's no evidence as far as I can see of any previous paintwork or anything like that. Of course, like anything, you are going to get the odd stone chip, if I'm hypercritical. Of course, like any used van, but this has certainly not had a hard life. It's one owner from new, and we do have service history with this vehicle. It's been serviced regularly, and we do have record of that, and it is using genuine Citroen parts, so genuine Citroen filters. The van is running currently as well, so not sure if you can hear, but it is idling correctly. There's no surging or hunting or anything like that, which could denote any problems, but it's idling absolutely spot on. So as we open up the driver's door, we'll have a look at the lovely spec that you get inside here. So we've got electric mirrors. You can see that we've got 2 full remote keys with this particular vehicle. We can see the mileage there, 43,357 miles. We have got some extra storage up here on top of the dashboard up there. If we turn the steering wheel to the left hand side, this is where you've got the cruise control, and give you a look at the driver's seat as it is beginning to rain here in sunny Wales. What a surprise. But as you can see, the driver's seat all in very good order. It's a good time now to jump inside the cab while it starts raining. 5-speed manual gearbox to go with a 75 brake horsepower engine. Crucially, on an Enterprise you do get air conditioning, which is very nice to have. And as you can see here, I've actually got an iPhone plugged in. There's a USB port just down to the side of the transmission there, and with the iPhone plugged in, that does give you Apple CarPlay. So anyone not familiar with Apple CarPlay, it gives you fantastic usability. So you can use things like Apple Music, you can listen to podcasts, you can also use the Maps feature on your phone. You can even use things like Google Maps if you prefer that. So you can use Spotify. So lots and lots of different things that can be used on there. But of course you can still use the the usual features of the vehicle as well. So if you prefer, you can use the DAB radio that this has. You can use Bluetooth if you want, or as I say, you can use the Apple CarPlay feature for your phone. But one of my personal favorite features to have on any modern van, as it just makes the interface with your phone so much better. Certainly, the sat nav will be so much better on your phone than unfortunately any modern sat nav which is built into a van. So very, very nice to have. Little 12-volt socket just down here as well. So a really nice spec inside these Berlingos, and it has now conveniently stopped raining. So just to summarise, one owner from new, Citroen Berlingo Enterprise with 75 brake horsepower. We do have service history with it as well, as I mentioned, using genuine Citroen parts. And it is Euro 6, which means you can take this into the ultra-low emission zone areas such as central London without having to pay the congestion charge relating to that area. If you'd like to inquire, please feel free to give us a call on either of the numbers listed there. We can arrange finance at very competitive rates, starting as low as 7.9% APR, of course subject to acceptance, and we can also take cars or vans in part exchange as well. Thank you very much for watching.